Hello everyone, this is Jasmeet Bhatia from Landmark Global Learning Limited, and today we have very special guest Mr. Saurabh Verma from Cambrian College. So it's a public college in Ontario. So thank you, Saurabh, for taking out time for this live session. And there are a lot of positive news coming from Canada right now. The India-Canada relationship has improved a lot. There's a delegation from Canada coming to India every month almost. And the new High Commissioner Chris Cooter is also seemingly very, very positive about India and Canada relationship. So thank you so much for your, taking out time for this live show, connecting with students and even their parents. They will have some doubts and which we can clear. And yesterday we had some students who had very, very, good number of queries. Is a public college in Canada, has a lot of history, close to 60 years old college in Canada. So tell us something about your college so that students can become very familiar. It is under RCIP, the city is under RCIP, we know that, and tell us more about your college.
Thank you, Mr. Jasmeet, for inviting me for this session. I mean, it's a very good initiative for giving the student first-hand information and what's happening in Canada. That's very important for them to understand. My name is Saurabh. I work as a senior market representative for South Asia and Middle East region. Cambrian College is one of the largest public colleges. We are located in a city called Sudbury, Ontario. Sudbury happens to be, an industrial city. It has a lot to offer. There are a lot of multiple industries here. We are just 400 kilometers north of in Toronto, and so the location is not a very remote location. As I said, a lot of industries around, so there's no issues about the part-time job, full-time job. It's a very safe setting in the city, and Cambrian College has been here for quite some time. It's close to 60 years, and we have been delivering programs which match the industry requirements, and our students have been doing exceptionally well. 70,000 plus graduates from Cambrian already. So we are very happy the way things are going. I have worked with multiple institutions, but Cambrian has something different to offer to all the students.
So surely, see, we have sent maybe close to hundreds of students, maybe 500 students in Cambrian College in past 11 years, and we have been associated with Cambrian College since 2015. And we had very, very good response, and especially the mining programs and the industrial millwright programs, and health sciences programs. We had a very, very good response from the students itself. So tell us, like there are so many new programs launched, and there's so many programs launched in Cambrian College. Tell us something more about those programs.
Okay, so Jasmeet, after the PGWP list has been revised, the good thing now for students is that now they know which program can give them job opportunities at the end of the program. So we have also initiated and launched some new programs which are quite high in demand. Programs like nutrition and food services management, programs like artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have programs like building construction technician. So it's a 2-year program. So these programs help them understand what exactly is the new requirement of the employers, and these are unique offerings. So when you do these programs, there are not many colleges and institutions that are offering these kind of programs. Even for that matter, one program called Bachelors of Applied Computing. Again, this is a unique program. First, you complete 2 years of computing, and then you do a specialization in AI, cybersecurity, or data analytics. So basically, when you're doing these kind of programs, the new age programs, you become ready for the jobs of the future while you are pursuing a program at Cambrian.
Yep. So good. See, AI is coming up very well, and there's a lot of demand for the future, and everybody is looking at AI without even knowing what AI is, and they need more of the detailed discussion. So definitely. So what are the entry requirements to get into these programs?
Well, if in case you want to get into a bachelor's degree, in that case, yes, 10 plus 2. If in with mathematics, it's fine. So for applied computing, if in case you do not have a mathematics and you still want to get into a bachelor's degree, because bachelor's degree are also getting very popular these days. So we have applied psychology, which is the new degree that we have offered. So it depends on what program you want to get into. But yes, compared to a university, the entry requirements here are quite flexible. We are open to taking students with 10 plus 2 scores. Some programs do require a mathematics as a background, like engineering, computing, and all. Otherwise, most programs with this just 10 plus 2 IELTS, TOEFL, or PT, that's it. This is what is required.
So, what is the IELTS requirement for undergraduate programs and postgraduate programs?
Okay, so good question. I'll just tell you, for diplomas and advanced diplomas, you need a IELTS 6 overall, no band less than 5.5. However, for graduate certificates, which that you do after a bachelor's degree, and for the undergraduate degrees that we need an IELTS 6.5, no band less than 6 in each. In PTE, if in case we see for undergraduate diploma programs and advanced diploma programs, 58 is what we need, and for graduate certificate and bachelor's degree we need a 61. We also accept a Duolingo, but Duolingo is only accepted for the diplomas, advanced diplomas, that is 105, and for the graduate certificate it's 120.
Okay. So, see, tell me something about like students who are onshore. So, do they need to give IELTS or they can give Duolingo and lodge their file?
Look, I mean, if in case they are coming from a public institution, we don't ask them to submit an IELTS or a TOEFL score. I mean, that should be fine. But if in case they are coming from a private institution, always having an IELTS is advisable in their case. But yes, I mean, any language score, if in case they have, it's good to support your application, but not necessarily required.
Okay. And so, if they've completed the course in Canada, then I don't think so there is any requirement for English. Yeah, if they
Yeah, I
want to
mean,
take
if
up.
you ask for our requirement, we would need a IELTS, TOEFL, or PT score. If in case you've studied from a private institution, if in case
Hmm.
you're coming from a public institution, in that case, not required.
So, and students who have like dropped out of course, then they need to give their IELTS or English exam,
Uh,
or
yes, in that case, yes, you should have completed your last qualification.
should have completed your last qualification. So there's a question called, what is the admission requirement for nutrition and food service management program?
Okay, so nutrition food services management, you just need to be a 10 plus 2 student. Just after your 12th, you can apply, ideally from a biology background. And yeah, I mean, there is no specific, subject wise percentage requirement. Just a pass in your class 12 should be good to go. And if you, in case you are asking for the language requirement, English language proficiency, we need IELTS 6 overall, no band less than 5.5. And if in case you're writing a PT, in that case, 58 overall.
Okay. And its student with a 10 plus 3 years diploma is acceptable. Yes, this means he must be a mechanical student, then he is acceptable. So also tell me some of the more programs which are very, very in high demand and eligible for postgraduate work permit.
Okay, so look, Cambrian has been known for range of programs, and good thing is that many of these programs are still in PGWP. So we are known for our skilled trades programs. So we have multiple options like industrial millwright, we have heating ventilation, we have heavy equipment technician, we have building construction technician. So these programs plus healthcare again is a very popular pick, because as we move forward, as more immigration happens in Canada, the healthcare system has to be robust. So that's why healthcare related programs like addiction, mental health, community health services navigation, occupation therapy, then the health analytics program. So these are some of the very good picks for students, and we have all these options available. And most of these programs also have a co-op attached to it. So you'll also understand what exactly the employers need, and you work in that co-op and understand what exactly is the real world application of these programs.
Okay. So there's another question. That's a tech. Jaspreet, I don't think so. College can answer your question because you've completed your studies and got completion letter on 20th April 2026, and study permit expires on 30th April. still not get CLB 7 for postgraduate work permit. What can I do? My 90 days are over on 20th April. So Jaspreet, you can, I'll say that you can call us at 9041390412, or you can WhatsApp us at 98. I'll mention you that number 9815008001. So I'll tell my team to flash this number, because you are talking about your study permit extension or your postgraduate work permit expiry, and in that case we need to help you. A specific college cannot help you in this case. So Jaspreet, we can definitely help you. Contact us or call us at this number. We'll get back to you. And there's another question: how much gap is acceptable for undergraduate and postgraduate level?
Okay, that's a good question. So basically, if in case you have gaps in your education, I mean, we can understand that there might be different situations in your life. So try to explain those gaps. Try to submit your resume. Sometimes you might have studied and then work for some time. Now you are again looking forward to a study option. Sometimes you have been working all throughout, but COVID years you were not working. So we understand that. So please try to disclose it in your application through a resume or through an SOP, and counselors at Landmark will be able to help you out with that, so that your application is complete. So no issues with the gap, but we would like to see what was the reason for those gaps.
So gaps is acceptable, students, but what is the reason for it, that you have to mention in your application, even to the college, and they can be clear. So what is right now is an application fee waiver for the students who want to apply?
Yes, so good question. So we do have an application fee waiver. Generally, the application fees is 95 Canadian dollars, but we have waived it off. So you will have to, you can submit your application just with whatever documents you have, and try to understand. The profile assessment is quite important. So when we have experts like Landmark, I mean, please visit them, understand what exactly is the right fit as a course for you, and then submit the application. They know the drill. They have sent hundreds and hundreds of students. So if in case you want your application to be successful, please choose an expert and then do your application.
So any scholarship available for onshore students?
Yes, so I mean, we have 2-3 types of options for scholarship. The very first one is the entrance scholarships. So if in case you are submitting your application before 30th April, we have an entrance scholarship of 1,500 Canadian dollars. So average tuition fees is around about $19,000, and then you get a 1,500 Canadian dollars as an entrance scholarship in your first year. Second is the faculty scholarship. So sometimes you also get a faculty scholarship. So like the business faculty has a scholarship of up to $2,000. We have applied computing program that I talked about, that also has a scholarship of up to $2,000. Then we have the third type of scholarship is the residence scholarship or bursary. So I mean, generally students have this question: this will be my first visit to Canada, I'm moving out of my country for the first time. We always advise students to take an on-campus accommodation. So Cambrian is a large college. We have 150-acre campus, and we have on-campus accommodation. General cost for that accommodation is $900 per month, but in the first semester we are giving you a 50% discount. So you have to pay only $450 per month for your on-campus residence for the first 4 months. So we want you to come down, settle down in a accommodation on campus. Everything will be taken care by the college members and the team. So you will be easily settling down in a new country.
So definitely. So there are a lot of scholarship options, and there's an accommodation scholarship also. So students look into it and contact us. We are charging no processing fees. Right now, there's no application fees also. So you can start your application with us right away. And what are like coming intakes, like May, you cannot apply right now. So September and January may be open, and then you can apply for September and January. So there's another question, which is a good one. Like, what are the popular programs that lead to a good career opportunities?
So look, I mean, popular programs can be many, but you also have to understand what exactly is your profile. I mean, I
Yeah.
can tell you that maybe applied computing is a great program, but you are a student from a commerce stream, so you can't do that. So when you pick a program, always, as I told you, sit down with a expert, like Landmark, understand what exactly are the various options, and then pick the program accordingly. But having said that, the if you want to say, I mean, popular picks now, artificial intelligence and machine learning is a great pick these days. Cyber security is another one. Food and nutrition services management, that's a unique program. There'll be not many graduates with a similar kind of degree. You can go in for that. Trades program like industrial millwright or building construction technician, these type of programs, when you do, you are a unique person there. When the opportunities comes, I mean, you don't have to look back. You will be a right fit for most of these positions. So do look at these options.
So definitely, they see there are like Cambrian College, kind of a polytechnic college, and there are a lot of trade programs. And is there any trade program available without maths?
Yes, the good thing is that for all the trades program that we have, we are okay with the class 10th level mathematics. So you don't need to have a very maths intensive program to get into. You don't need a class 12th level mathematics to get into the trades program. Sometimes I also come across this question that I have completed my 10 plus 2 from PCM background, but I don't want a very engineering or a very tough program. So in that case, you can go in for program like industrial maintenance millwright program. It's a very good program. As I told you, I mean, we are in a location which is an industrial location with a lot of mining, refineries, clean tech, environment tech. These kind of companies are having a base here, so you easily get employment in these sectors.
Yeah. So what is the accommodation fee and transport charges in Sudbury City?
Well, accommodation, if in case you're taking on-campus accommodation, we are most welcome to offer you an on-campus accommodation at a 50% discount. But yes, Sudbury compared to other major cities, the cost of living here is much less, and the campus accommodation is located, within the downtown area. So I mean, traveling to your part-time jobs and coming to the campus, it's very it's basically in walking distance. So you don't need that unless until you're going far away. In that case, you need a bus and all that. But within campus accommodation and around the campus, accessibility perspective, part-time job perspective, we have a central location.
Yeah, I visited Sudbury 2 times myself, and there's a beautiful lake out there, and there's a beautiful Nikka. It's a mining town. Basically, it's a lot of mining. There is nickel and mica, a lot of mining going around there. So it's a very peaceful place. And students, if you're looking at going to Sudbury, it's a nice place, like a 4 to 5 hours from drive from Toronto. So
Yeah.
not really too far also, and you can take a plane from Toronto, which is like 40 minutes or 50 minutes flight from Toronto. So student, it's like not that far from action also. You can come back to, on weekends to Toronto also. So it is a great place if you're looking at something, and so can you talk about RCIP thing, or we should avoid it?
Yeah, I mean, so when you pick up, Cambrian and Sudbury as a location, you also get incentivized for your, the location that you have picked. So RCIP, is a new and a revised PR pathway for students. It was launched in June 2025, and it's for the next 5 years. So basically, it gives you an easy access to the PR routes. There are some priority occupations, and in these priority occupations you have programs like early childhood education, trades programs, social service. So there are a lot of multiple priority occupations. So, and these programs are being taught at Cambrian College. So if in case you have done these programs and you have an employment at any of these organizations which are a part of RCIP, your PR route becomes very, very easy. So I mean, try to understand, location plays a very important factor in terms of where exactly you are going and what kind of pathway you are taking up, and where things can be easier for you. So when do check out that RCIP is a very good thing. And uh, one thing I would like to add on, Cambrian also hosts a lot of annual and career fairs. So because of these, these are the employers who have been working very closely with us. They have 95% satisfaction with the kind of students that they've hired in the past, and they keep on coming again and again. So unless and until you have an employment in Canada, it becomes difficult to talk about PR and other things. So last 3 years, Cambrian was able to help student 86 to 89% of our students have been getting into full time employment after completing their graduation, and that's our success story. Because if in case our students are getting full time jobs in Canada after the program, and in these last 3 years, which have been comparatively trickier year for Canada, it speaks of our quality.
Yeah, definitely. Is there any changes for PR? I had 2+ experience in Canada, don't have Canadian education, but I'm still working. See, that's also not a question to be asked from a college representative that we can answer. We have a specifically PR team. We can answer your, you know, all the queries. So students related to PR. So see, when a student arrives in Canada, so they need some, emotional support or professional support from the college because they've traveled so far from their home country. So what kind of support Cambrian College is offering to the students who travel to Canada in Sudbury? So professionally and personally, there are a lot of support. They initially need those supports to be there.
Yeah, so I mean, I can understand, it's a big decision that you take, moving out of your comfort zone, moving out of your home country and coming to a new country like Canada. And Cambrian has a very good, Cambrian International Student Support Team, and we have multiple services for you. Now, these services include, like, if in case you're feeling, homesick, if in case you want to talk to somebody, we have, counseling sessions going on. Sometimes there is a lot of immigration updates that comes in, and you are in a panic mode whether it is applicable in my case or not.
No, no,
Then
yeah.
we have the immigration advising team, and then you are guided by the RISIAs, who are the authorized people to talk to you about the various types of visa updates, right? So you get the right information. Sometimes you feel that I'm lagging behind in my academics, and can somebody help me out? So yes, you get that support. And since it's a new country, sometimes you feel that here in India we have 2 page or 3 page resume. I mean, what should be my resume looking like? What are the different types of interviews that happen? What exactly is the employment? So for that, we have the co-op and career placement cell. So basically, they'll tell you, I mean, how to upskill yourself, what you have to do in these years while you are there in Canada, so that you become job ready right from day one. So that's what these are type of services that we have. And if in case you are you are from a different faith, we have on campus multi faith center and all that. So all the kind of support, you will never miss your home, that's what I can assure you.
Definitely. So, see, what are the top three factors which make Cambrian College, specifically, good for employability, and when a lot of options available in the market. So, what are the top three factors when a student looking at Cambrian College should choose Cambrian College, and how does those factors help them get employable?
Okay, very good question. So I'll tell you, in what are the various factors why you should pick Cambrian over others. So number one factor is that Cambrian is very picky in terms of taking up students. So we have very small batches for students. So generally our student faculty ratio in the class is 22 or 23 is to 1. So you will not be just a number in my class of 200 or 300 students. Faculty will know you by your name, right?
Yeah,
And that's how we start working with you, because you need to upskill yourself if in case you want to get into an employment, right? So when you are sitting in a smaller classroom, in that case you are easily recognized, and we can make you perfect in next few years time. Secondly, location is a very important factor. If in case you come here, number one is that you do not have competition for too many colleges around, right? So when
yeah,
you are sitting in a career fair, it would not happen that there are too many college students, or when you're applying for a part-time job, you face too much competition. That will not be there, right?
yeah,
Affordability is the another factor, because I can understand it's a big toll on your parents, and when you go abroad and try to start a new journey there. So affordability is also a very important reason to come to Cambrian, because here things will be much easier for you as an international student. tuition fees is not the first and the last thing that you have to plan about. You have to look in the long run, 2 years, 3 years planning has to go into that. So when you come to a location like Sudbury, costing is not a big problem. It's not a very expensive city to live in, very affordable, and within your within your budget that you can that you're planning, Cambrian can easily fit in that. Plus, if in case you are a good student, there are scholarships in future as well. So if in case you continue doing a good performance, maybe you'll get a scholarship in the year 2 as well.
Yeah. So definitely, it makes a right location, a right choice kind of a thing for the students, and it is not a very very smaller city. It's kind of a small city environment, I think so.
Yeah,
Like it's not, if you can say, there are a lot of smaller cities than Cambrian in Canada.
yeah.
And see, one more question from me, like students come here and do you organize, you said you are organizing career shows and everything for the students. So when they pass out, and do they have internship in many programs? I know there are a lot of trade programs which have a lot of internship. And after they do, do their internship, do they get employed by those employers only? Where do they do, internships, or how does it work? Like you do career fairs in your college and students, a lot of employees come there and then they get hired by them. What kind of experience students are looking forward to?
Okay, so but I'll tell you. But basically, when you enter into a co-op, because most of the programs at Cambridge do have a co-op. Now, co-op is basically, I'll tell you, I mean, for most of the students who do not know about the co-op, is basically cooperative education, wherein industries and colleges come together and design an internship or a capstone project, something like that, so that employer, before they actually want to hire you in a full-time role, they have an engagement with you for a few months and they see your performance. If in case you are doing exceptionally well, they may ask you to hire, I mean, join them after the completion of the program, right? That is basically your first opportunity to impress an employer, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't click. So if in case it is not working out for you, in that case we organize this career fair on campus, in which hundreds of employer participate, and you will get to know about these employers, these opportunities beforehand. And as I told you that our co-op and career placement cell helps you in terms of the resumes, the mock interviews, the types of positions that they have, what research you should be doing, so you are prepared for these opportunities beforehand, right? And this is the reason why we have such a good success rate later on at the end of the program, because you are prepared. We have been working with you throughout. There are a lot of hands-on learning that you take while you're there in these programs. A lot of labs are associated, and these are the same kind of work that you'll be doing after the program that you do within your college campus. So the employers clearly know that if in case they are hiring a Cambrian student, this student is going to stay with them, this student is going to perform right from day one.
Definitely. So a lot of like how they attend their classes, how they do projects, how they behave, what is their communication skills, how well they have adapted in this international culture. So this all, these all factors will define how you get employed, you know,
Yeah.
and where do you get employed. So this is all, dependent on the students, how well they take up their studies in Canada, and how well they talk to their professors also, because you need a lot of references to get hired in Canada. So students must take care of, how they built up a relationship in Canada, which plays a really really important role, you know. And I feel uh, students should when they are going abroad, they should go with full positivity, because there are a lot of challenges, come up when they go abroad, and they feel lonely, and they feel, initial days are really really tough for them. So, which academic disciplines or courses right now are in demand? So that's trades and health and everything that is morely in demand, and we've discussed, academically how they can be employed with them. In the end, Saurabh, do you think like anything else you wish to tell about your institute, Cambrian College, or elaborate anything you want to?
Well, I mean, I just have a few advice for students, because yes, you are planning to come to Canada, but when you come to Canada, there are a few things that you need to be aware of, because that has to be your planning. that how you plan. So number one thing is that when you come to Canada, your first few days are very important. Do not think that no, now you finally reached Canada, let me just roam and then explore. Think you'll get a lot of time to explore. But the first thing is that no networking. Now we are living in a world where a lot of jobs you will not get on various portals and all that. It's all on networking. So when you come here, start building your network. Number one thing. Number two, if in case you want to be successful in Canada and you feel, you believe that the way you are, the way you're going to be in for the next 2 years, if you are doing the same kind of thing, you will not get success. You will have to improve yourself to open up in a new country, try to learn new things, upgrade yourself. And the third thing is your communication skills. Your preparation will begin at a IELTS training center. Say for example you are studying at Landmark, don't lose those concepts, keep it with you. And when you are here, try to speak to more unknown people in English. That will help you in terms of developing that confidence in speaking English, because that is what is required. That will show when you are appearing for these interviews.
Definitely, definitely. So thank you so much, Saurabh. And I think there's a lot of more information. Maybe sometimes after a month we'll do a review kind of your life. And Cambrian is a good place. Sudbury is like I told you, like I visited personally a few times to Sudbury, and we've been working with Sudbury more than 11 years now. With Cambrian College, and I know that area very well because a lot of colleges we have working with those area very well, because that area is like northern Ontario. And we've been to Sault Ste. Mary, Sudbury, because that's the same highway which goes ahead. So I prefer students, like small town is always a better option because your travel distance will be less, your accommodation cost will be less, your day-to-day expense will be less. Whereas I can assure you that in Toronto it will be double.
Yeah.
Exactly, it will be close to double because it's a bigger city environment, and your travel time will be too much. When you're living in a big city, so everything has their pros and cons. So whatever you are looking at, you can get back to Landmark. We have 16 offices across India, or you can call us at this number or WhatsApp us, or visit our nearest office. All our services are free of cost. For student visa, our services are free of cost. And colleges also right now are giving application fee waivers, a lot of scholarship. Like Saurabh said, Cambrian is giving residence scholarship 50%. That's a great help. And if you have a residence when you land, I think you are 80% sorted. So because students suffer sometimes because they don't have a residence, they don't know where to go, and they get into some shitty apartments, and they're having a bad experience. And that is how they get demotivated when they arrive anywhere internationally, not just Canada. It is anywhere, and they say, we've left our home to come to this place. So that's, if you have a residence anywhere internationally, I think 80% you're sorted. So thank you, Saurabh, for joining our live. And students who have more questions, you can get in touch with me or our team in all the offices, all our managers, or we can get you connected with Saurabh when you're applying for Cambrian College. So thank you, Saurabh.
Thank you for this opportunity, and I wish all the best to your team and the students who are looking forward to studying at Cambrian. Do apply through Landmark Immigration, when they are the experts in helping you out with the application, the scholarships, and everything. So all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. Thank you.